How's that? I didn't even plug my mic in. I am so sorry. Thanks for letting me know. That's not even cool. I've been chatting here for 20 minutes, half an hour with no mic. I'm sure what I had to say was important, so thank you for that. Oh. And now I've lost my place. Anyway, hopefully it wasn't like completely dead air. Was the music at least playing? I don't know. This is embarrassing. I appreciate you telling me. That's great. So I'm going to start again. How about that? Hi, I'm Shakti. Today is Sunday, so we're knitting a sock. This is the sock we're knitting. I'm going to show you. Let's get that out of the way. There we go. Thank you so much, Roleplay Gamers. I appreciate that. Oh man, just crazy. Okay, so this is the sock we're knitting. The pattern is Bubbles Down the Drain by Very Pink. If we type in the command for pattern, you'll be able to see a link that it allows you to download the pattern and get it going on your own. It's a toe-up sock, so we've already finished the toe. We've worked the heel last week, and this week we're going to work up the leg, and we're going to try and go, maybe not today, but we'll make up, in the end, I want to go about 7 inches before we hit the cuff. So, we have about 13 pattern repeats on the foot, and according to my calculations, we're going to need about 15, 16 pattern repeats up the leg before we get to the cuff. Oh, well, that's just a great start to the stream. That's fine. That's fine. This is all good. I don't know what row I'm on. I'm on row 2. Okay, so we're working the leg lace pattern. We're on the second repeat after the heel for the lace pattern. I think. Yes. I'm gonna have to like overdub or something. Well, at least my captions were working. They're not now. Let me get that going again. There we go. How's this? Yes, captions are moving. Good, so at least you're able to read along. I don't even know what I was talking about. Ranting about something. Ranting about something. Okay, so we're about to finish row 2 of our second pattern repeat. That I'm saying this out loud so that I don't forget where we are. We have 2 more rows and then we'll be starting the lace all the way around the foot. So we still have a bit of just a tiny little gap. I don't know if you can see that, just where I joined the heel. You can't really. It definitely is a day. Every stream it's something I'm noticing. But anyway, yeah, it looks like I've dropped a stitch somewhere in there too, but we have the right number of stitches. All right, anyway, let's go. And all I did was check to see that the mic was on. I didn't check to see if it was plugged in. Like I said, I have so many cables and stuff sitting around my desk that I assume it's all plugged in, and I'm just embarrassed. It'll be a funny video later. All right, so this week, let's see what's happened this week. Wednesday, I was intending on streaming. I'm going to start repeating myself here so that folks can actually hear it rather than read it. Wednesday, I was intending on streaming, but life happened and I never even made it back. I was on the road a total of 7 hours on Wednesday, traveling to see my dad and back to help him out. We're moving him, so there was a lot of stuff that needed to be done at his house this week, so I was there for the day helping him out there. So it was a long day on the road, so I never even got back in time to even bother to tweet out that I was going to be not going to stream. All right, row 3, so I think we're doing a knit 2, yarn over. Okay, yes. I really should just print out this pattern instead of trying to look it up on the screen. So we're going to knit 2 together, then yarn over and purl. Yeah. Yeah, knitting is one of those things though that if you put it down and you pick it back up, it's easy to remember once. It's like riding a bike, they say, right? Like you'll pick it up fairly quickly once you get back into it. I grew up learning how to knit, and then I forgot how to do so. And then like one YouTube video as an adult, and I picked it right back up again. It came right back to me. I don't know if I just did a yarn over or not. I just did there. Yes, I did. Okay. This is the row I always need to say the pattern out loud, because otherwise I forget a stitch. And if we look at the stream from last week, I think I did that 3 times in a row where I missed a stitch because I didn't say it out loud. I'm saying it out loud in my head right now. Knit 2 together, yarn over, purl. We are in the middle of yet another heat wave here. I am dying in this room because for some reason the air conditioning isn't working in this room. I don't know. Up until earlier this year, this room was my son's room, but now that he's out on his own, I've adopted it, and I don't know how he survived in this heat. But it is hot in here. I may have to open a window later. But they're calling for thunderstorms, so that might not be a good idea midstream. Oh, might be, I don't know. These stockinette rows always go so fast. You know, that's probably, I had a problem with my captioning earlier. I was saying at the beginning of the stream, my captioning was not picking up the correct mic, and that explains why, because the correct mic wasn't even plugged in. I've had a mini heat wave last week and now got heavy rain and thunderstorms. Yeah, they're calling for thunderstorms here, but we live in an area that is just perfect to not get thunderstorms. It's almost like they just fly just around our house. They threaten, we rarely get them. Which is not great for lush green lawns and flowers and stuff. We need the rain. So I'm constantly out there watering stuff. I should just put in rock gardens or clover and let it have at it. All right, so this is row 4, our last lace repeat. And then we get to do lace all the way around and no more stockinette. Okay. Although I prefer the heat to the cold, so I will take these heat waves because I do not want to be wearing a sweater all the time. I'm one of those people who constantly has a cozy sweater handy because I'm never warm. Except for right now in this room. Getting all tangled up in my yarn. Yeah, I think this view for the camera is a little bit better than what I've had in the past. This is going to work, I think. It's not as great on my back, but it'll do. Don't mind either, whether it was hot or cold doesn't bother me. Yeah, lucky. I hate the cold. I hate it. Which for a person living in Canada is probably not the best bet. Although in recent years we've had a lot more swings in the weather than straight cold. It definitely gets very hot here, but likewise it gets very cold. Okay, so that was round 4. I gotta mark this down. Alright, so I think altogether we have 15 pattern repeats now. If we go for a total of 30 pattern repeats, that should be long enough for the foot, I think. I'm just going to confirm that we have 15 here, so that my numbers are correct. Where am I at? Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pattern repeats. Perfect. 15 pattern repeats. That's 6 inches. And if I do an inch of cuff, that'll be 7, right? Yeah, I think that'll be long enough. I think that'll be long enough. We'll do 30 pattern repeats all together, all the way up the leg. So we're officially halfway. Okay. I'm just going to double check to make sure they don't have any instructions for... Oh, that's the other thing. I need to make sure I have enough yarn for a second sock because it's all one ball. If you have a lot of tall socks, you may want to add... Okay, no, I don't want to do that. And they don't even have a cuff on this pattern. That's not cool. We need to have a cuff. I am not a fan of cuffless socks because then they fall down. Okay, I'm going to be adding a cuff to this sock. I'm just going to do a ribbed cuff on the end, because then the sock will stay up. It's a weird bind off though. Anyway, I'll worry about that when we get there. I may not even do that bind off when we get there. For now, we'll just do the lace repeats. Yeah, we'll do the lace repeats. I'm going to need more stitch markers because I'm adding them on the back. How many do I have on the front here? 1, 2, I'm using 3, so 3 will be enough. I've got these pretty little stars. They're so cute. Okay. So I'm going to start on row 1 here. We're going to be doing knit 2, purl 1. And I'll do 3 repeats on this needle and then 2 repeats on the other needle, because it's only 6 stitches, right? Knit 2, purl 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, purl 1, put in a stitch marker, get the needle out there, there we go, and repeat that across. Knit 2, purl 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, purl 1, having a hard time staying in camera here again. I'm going to move this camera, so hopefully you don't get dizzy. There. And hopefully that works a little bit better. Okay. Knit 2, purl 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, purl 1, and we'll switch needles. There we are. Are they custom knitting needles? The only ones I've used are the really long ones. I have not seen the small ones. These are double point needles. You're probably used to using circular needles, and a lot of knitters do. It's not something that I have figured out. I do have circular needles, and I use those for sweaters and larger projects. But for a sock, I can't wrap my head around using a circular needle for something just small amount here, but these are just double point needles. So called because they have a point on both ends. It's really just the circular needles without the cable. Oh, yarn over, knit 2, and purl. Circular needles now are, when I first learned to knit as a kid, it was so rare to see a circular needle. Almost everything was done on straight needles, and they've certainly become a lot more, I don't want to say in vogue, but in vogue. As knitters have become a bit more savvy on techniques, and a lot more techniques have come out, they are certainly a lot easier for a lot of projects. But like I said, this particular project, the socks, I just can't wrap my head around it. I have tried, and I know there's ways of knitting, for example, 2 at a time on circular needles, 2 socks at a time, and I've tried that, and disastrous results, but everyone has a different way of doing it. Just find the method that works best for you, right? The even rows on this pattern is really nice too. It's just purls and knits. No lace work. Not that lace is particularly hard, but really should have taken more time after my dinner break to digest a bit before sitting down here to stream. Oh, it's coming up. It's not cool. Mac and cheese. Right. Almost made it through this bobbin. Said in the past, this particular yarn I had set aside for another sock that I was going to try and come up with a pattern based on a recipe idea. You know, it was one of those, if your feet are this big, you'll need this many stitches and you'll need to increase this much between each row, etc. And it was really following a recipe rather than a pattern. And it was awful, 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 awful. I ended up with a hat instead of a sock, which was not my intention. I think I had, because right now I have 60 stitches around 4 needles. In the other sock that I had 100 and something stitches, like 117 stitches or something. It was ridiculously large. That's almost twice as many stitches. Can you imagine how big a foot that would be? Anyway, so it got pulled out and now it's on a bobbin, and that's the yarn I'm using today. Because my feet are large, but they're not that large. I do want socks that fit. That is the goal. So I don't know if I'm going to do the second sock on stream. I may just start a new pattern for the next sock and do the second sock for this pair off stream. Because once you've seen the first one, we don't really need to see it again, right? It's all the same. And that'll give me something to work on when I have a hankering to knit off stream. I've been really good so far, not touching my projects off stream, even though they sit right next to me on my computer here and taunt me. I've been very good, haven't touched them. Tried to find other things to work on. So this week is another relaxing week for us here. We don't have much on the go. It's really more of a week of setup for us because next week, at least for me, it's going to be busy. I go back to work, so I'm going to be getting my office in shape so I have space to work because I am working from home for another couple months, but at least it'll be not vacation work. It'll be actual work. So next week it will be a bit of that organization, and since things are opened up, we get to go get haircuts. Very excited about that. My wings will be gone. What part of Canada am I in? I'm in Ontario. It's so cool. UK. I have an international watcher. That's so great. Southeast coast, about 60 miles from London. Okay, cool. So you must get a lot of the humidity when you have a heat wave as well, which is not my favorite part of a heat wave. I grew up in the prairies here in Canada, and a heat wave in provinces like Saskatchewan or Alberta is vastly different than a heat wave in Ontario. Because in Ontario, we're surrounded, at least in southern Ontario, we're surrounded by water everywhere. And it causes, the humidity just gets to be ridiculous when it's hot. And in Alberta and Saskatchewan, there's very little water. So the heat is just, it's a dry heat, which I know people say, but it's really different than a humid heat. It's not as bad. Definitely want the sunscreen though, because you will burn in minutes from the heat, not just from the sun. Okay. It just occurred to me that I didn't know where the start of my row was now that I'm doing lace all around, so I'm gonna have to actually pay attention to that. It's right here, by the way. Okay, so I'm starting row 3 of our pattern repeat. which means that I put the yarn over after the knit two together. So I'm going to say this out loud again. Knit two together, yarn over, purl. There we are. Knit two together, yarn over, purl. It's not a particularly difficult pattern, but there are days when I just need to say it over and over and over again just to grasp it. That's the way it goes. Okay. Considering that with the end of school happening, of course, report cards come out. So I got my son's report card. He did fine. He always does. He's a pretty smart kid. But it was talking about methods of learning, and it's one of those how people learn. We were very lucky to have a teacher this year who grasped how my son learns. He's not a standard learner. He does pick things up very quickly when they're taught in the way that he can grasp it. And for me, I'm one of those people that I have to do it in order to understand. So if there's a concept, I have to see it in action, I have to try it myself, and then I have to do it several times before it clicks. Once it clicks, I'm good. But it makes for classes like history and social studies a tricky thing. I have to usually read over and over and over and over again in order to grasp it. I have lots of discussions about it, seminars, that sort of thing, which is a little ironic since I'm going into my now 4th year of a political science degree. But fortunately, by now, I know that I have to just read and read and read and read and read. Highlight, take notes, go back, read. My son is not like me. He does have an ability to read it once, and it sticks for him, which is good. He'll have a much easier time in that respect than I will. But for hands-on things, it's a little bit trickier for him. Are we still on? Yes, this is still row 3. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was row 3. Row 4. It's Sunday, so I can allow myself something special. Today I am drinking, and I don't know if you can see it, because my camera's covering it up. Huh? Angry Orchard. A cider from here in Ontario. My Poison. Not the best cider I've had, but it does the job. It's available, which during these COVID times is not always the case. We've had to do without a few things due to supply issues. One of those things, surprisingly, which I never would have expected, is bicycles. My husband wants to take up cycling and has been on the lookout for a bicycle. He's not a small man; he's fairly tall, and he needs a large bike, something with a fairly tall frame. And to try and find any, it's a little crazy. That's definitely been a supply problem since COVID. I guess more people are outside doing things, so they're buying more bicycles. So we're still on the lookout for the right bike for him. Hopefully as things open up, there'll be a bit more supply on that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm a cider gal. I'm not, my days of beer and whatnot are long behind me. I've never been a fan of the flavor of beer to begin with, but I'm of an age where it does things to my tummy that I don't enjoy. So cider it is. Roleplay, what's your favorite cider? What's one that I should be trying? Do you have any recommendations for me? Because there's some great ciders out of the UK. I know that for sure. Some that we can't get here anymore. Used to be able to get some great ones out of there, but not any longer. Pretty much now the only ones we get are the ones that are done here nationally with a UK label on it. So things like Strongbow and the like. Sir Perry's, I think, which I'm not a fan of. So I'm very particular. I need my cider to be made of apples and not pears, because it's apple cider. That's literally what it's cider. That's what makes it cider. Otherwise, it's just a fruit drink. For a cloudy cider, okay. Okay. I always prefer ones that are a bit more clear and crisp. There are several small breweries here in Canada and Ontario in particular, because we have a lot of apple farms here in Ontario that have ciders. So there's some hits and misses, but pretty much whatever you want you can find as far as style. Starting a new row, and I think that was row 4 that I just did. Yes, so I need to mark that off. Row 1, I need to purl, yarn over, knit 2 together, purl. Okay, yarn over, knit 2 together, purl. Yarn over, knit 2 together. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss the yarn overs again. That's so ridiculous. I did 30 minutes without a mic. I can't believe that. Well, you know, when I work on an intro video for this channel, I guess that'll have to be included. All to do with preference. If you like clear, then absolutely. Absolutely. We all like what we like, right? That's why there's so many different types out there. Yarn over, purl, knit 2 together, then purl. At least I'm staying in the camera now. This is fine. I'm a professional. I'm not a professional. I do have a knot in my yarn though. There we go. Eager to be done with this bobbin. Start that again. Still on row 1. Yarn over, knit 2 together. So yes, as I was saying, we're starting to open up to our next phase of post-COVID openings. And included in that is haircuts. We get to go see go to our salons again and get our haircuts, which is great. I thought that at the beginning of this year that short hair might be a little bit easier to maintain than what I had previously. I used to have fairly long hair, and so I cut it all off thinking it would be easier, and turns out it is not easier. There is a lot more work to be done, and it shows a lot sooner when it gets long. Like I said, I'm getting wings. I'm gonna start flying away with the back of my hair. It's kind of crazy. So fortunately, my hairstylist is on top of it and has already booked me in for as soon as we can open. I can go get my hair chopped off. So great. But it is nice this length for the hot weather because I don't have to worry about tying it back or anything. Okay, I think I need to put a marker in here to remind me that I'm at the end of the row because I see that being a problem. There's a lot of open holes there. I'm not even showing you. There's a lot of open holes on this heel that I'm not happy with. It's very open. But I mean, it'll be on my foot, I guess. Hidden in a shoe. See, this side doesn't. It's because of where the yarn overs are. This side it's nice and closed. This side it's quite open. It's because the yarn overs are right up against the edge here versus this side where we had a couple of stitches before there was a yarn over. So maybe on the next sock I'll reverse the pattern, and then that can be the inside of the foot. Maybe. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Problem for another day. I would have to do entirely reversed the stitch. Oh, thanks, Roleplay. That's great. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's really just something to busy myself with, get me knitting. Because as with all things, we lose our mojo, but it's nice to have someone to chat with as well. I think I could reverse the pattern. I would have to rewrite it though, because otherwise I'll get confused and halfway through I'll start doing it the other way and mess it up. Okay. Yeah, this is an even row, so it's just a quick knits and purls, knits and purls. So hopefully this week, Wednesday, I will be able to do just a regular crochet stream. I don't anticipate any problems. I don't think I have anything on the calendar for this Wednesday. So we'll do the regular time on Wednesday for crochet. And I'll see if I can't get a gaming stream in as well and do some more Banner Saga at some point. I don't know when I would do that, but we'll see. I'm also working on so I also play World of Warcraft, and there is a new patch dropping. Aw, thank you for the follow, Roleplay Games. Appreciate it. So, as I was saying, I'm also a World of Warcraft player, and they are dropping a new content patch next week? This week, I think. Tuesday, I think. So the reason why I game is for the story, because I love a good story, and that game definitely has it for me. But I haven't been keeping up with the game, and so because they have a new content patch, they're adding a lot more story, finishing up some storylines, that sort of thing with this patch. And so I've been working over the last few days to try and get caught up so that I'm actually caught up on the story before the patch drops. So I may do a World of Warcraft stream as well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I start back to work in about, well, it's almost 2 weeks exactly. So once I start back to work, my days will no longer be my own. So we'll see how much energy I have to do all this stuff. Evenings for now are fine. I think this works. All right, we're on row 3, which means we're doing the yarn over after the knit 2 together. Okay. Yes, the yarn over after the knit 2 together. I literally just said this. Okay. Knit 2 together, yarn over, then I purl. I do think I'm going to have to take a break here in a minute, though. See if I can't open a window, because it is very, very hot in here right now. Very stuffy. I hesitate to bring a fan in here for streams because I don't know just how much this mic picks up, and I don't want to be adding to it. To any kind of adding extra noise to it. So we'll see, I guess. We'll do a few more rows and then I'll take a break. It's good to get a stretch in anyway. I think I forgot, I mentioned last week I was going to take a photo and post it on my Instagram, and I think I did, but not to the Instagram that I have linked to my profile on this stream. So I have an Instagram for my shop where I put all of my crocheted goodies and that sort of thing. And then I have my personal Instagram, and I think I actually have my personal Instagram linked here. And I posted the progress photos and the close-up of the lace in my shop Instagram. So that's something that I need to add to my to-do list today, is actually get my socials correct. But I don't know if you can see the lace. It's coming out fairly nicely. I wasn't sure about the blues in the yarn, if that would take away from the lace, but I think it's okay. It adds just that little bit of pop. All right, we're continuing row 3. So we're knitting 2 together, yarn over, and purl. I also have to this week catch up on a lot of streams that I've not been watching myself. I'm so behind. There was a streamer that I was subscribed to who I really enjoyed, and he tweeted out a stream that I was interested in, and I was unable to catch it at the time. So I went today to go watch the stream, and I am not subscribed anymore. And of course, this was a streamer who has all of his videos for subscribers only. So that made me sad because I don't have the budget to follow everybody, to subscribe to everybody. But I guess when my Prime subscription comes up, I'll have to start playing around with who gets what subscription. I understand why streamers do that, definitely. Certainly don't have a problem with them doing that, except when I want to watch the stream. When it's a topic I'm interested in. This particular topic was on the new versus old TSR. So if you can, sub to Legal Kimchi, and he has some really great discussions. This particular stream was on that, and I'm sad that I missed it, so I'll have to figure out my subscription stuff so that I can watch that stream, because that is a topic relevant to my interests. Because I am a huge D&D fan. I'm a huge nerd. So I was a little surprised to see that TSR is reformed again. Very surprised at what they're saying publicly on Twitter. Which, you know, is what it is, I guess. Don't agree with it. Because by now, you should know, I am very left of center with my views, political and otherwise. So for them to be saying some of the stuff they're saying is just, I don't know. They're not like overtly being problematic, but it's enough. It's enough. They are trying to hashtag, get the hashtag going that, and I forget what the actual hashtag is. It's something to do with, you know, bringing back fantasy or something along those lines, keeping fantasy real or whatever. Anyway, it's gatekeeping fantasy, essentially. Basically, if you're not of the norm, you're not welcome in fantasy, which is, quite frankly, bullshit. It's fantasy. It can be whatever you want. If you want an entire world of people who travel on a chair with wheels, that is something you can do. If you want an entirely genderless society in your world, you can do that. 'Cause it's fantasy. Which should tell you as well something about my feelings with those arguments about historical realism in fantasy. I'm sorry. If you tell me that rape is included in your fantasy game because it's historically accurate, and then tell me that there are also dragons and ice giants in your story, no. You've lost all claim to historical accuracy. Just my thoughts. Noticing that there was a few stars that came up in my my little rant there, so in my captioning, I may have said a bad word or two. but that's how I feel. And yes, I was directly referencing a very popular book series / television series, which is some of my problems with a lot of fantasy stories in general. I love fantasy. That is my genre that I go to read all the time and play and engage in. So for someone to say that something is not allowed in a made-up pretend world, I'm going to add some more stars to my captions. All right. I don't know where I'm at. I think this is an even row. I think I'm on row 4. And I think that after this row, since it is the end of the row, yeah, it is row 4, I'm going to take a quick break. Okay. That was row 4. I'm going to pause it right here. I'm just going to mark off where I'm at. We've done a total of 17 out of 30 repeats. I'm going to take a break right here for a moment. Just open some windows, do some stretching, go pee, and I'll be back in a moment with a working mic. Alrighty, we're back with a working mic, it looks like. My captioning is tracking the correct mic, so that's good. Music's going, everything's good, I think. Let me know if it's not. I trust you. Oh, and because I made sure that everything was working, of course, now my pattern is gone. So one moment. Hopefully everything's still good. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So I'm just going to link again the pattern that we're using here. Try not to bump in the mic. Here we go. All right, so as I said, today we're doing Bubbles Down the Drain by Very Pink. The pattern is available on Ravelry if you just click on the link that I just posted in chat. It is a free pattern, so have at ya, go nuts. As you can see, it's totally doable. If you have problems with Ravelry, I know that it's accessibility problems for some users. Just let me know. I'll help you out in getting the pattern. And we are on the third repeat of our legs. So we're at 17 repeats of 30 altogether. I do have the window open behind me, so if there's an excessive noise, hopefully there isn't. There might be. If there is, let me know. I'll close the window. We have some louder vehicles that tend to like to go down our street, so. Okay, so we are on. I think I need to change where my pattern is located because right now my camera is in breaking the view. One sec here. There. Now I can read it without obstruction. So we're on round 1 of our repeat. Don't know how far we'll make it today. A few more rounds would be good. We are on round 1, so I need to yarn over there, not knit. I think that opening the window may have made it worse. I don't know. We'll see, because I can feel that humidity come in. But we need some air movement in this room because it's awful. I may have to just get one of those Victorian lady fans and just start fanning myself. For I am a Victorian lady. No, I'm not. I have problems with Jane Austen, etc. Okay. Yarn over, knit 2 together, purl 1. This is fine. I'll try this week to hang up some stuff behind me too, to make that background a little bit more appealing. It's just a blank wall. It's not cool. I think if you actually squint, you can see damage to the wall from my son's posters and stuff. So that's a thing that needs to be fixed. I'll just cover it up. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I think I will do the second sock off stream and start a new pattern once I'm done this sock. just to keep things a little lively. Because we don't need to see this over and over and over again. Oh, I still have an itchy nose. I don't know. My allergies have been acting up this week. I don't know what the deal is. I should be past that now. Should be past allergy season. And yet, thanks climate change. We might, I'm not going to say it. We might be able to get done this bobbin today, which would be fantastic. I'm very eager to be done this bobbin and actually start pulling from the ball rather than from the bobbin. I still don't know why Streamlabs adds that extra character after a command. I don't know how to fix that. All right, we're on row 2 of our repeat, which is a quick row. I also don't know what happened with my music. I was complaining about this last week. So on my overlay, I have it set to show the Spotify playlist that I'm playing and the songs that I'm playing. But for whatever reason, it's not showing up on my overlay, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It says it's capturing it. It's all there. I may have to just start again with my overlay. I want to fix my overlay anyway because I'm not lugging these chat bubbles, but I don't not like the chat bubbles, but I think they can be better. So, I don't know. I might get to that this week. I say I'm going to do these things, but I don't know. I'm on vacation. 2 weeks of vacation. It's summer. That's one thing that I am really looking forward to, surprisingly, with everything reopening, is being able to go shopping for clothing properly again. I'm not a big shopper where clothing is concerned. I don't tend to enjoy it because I'm quite tall and thin, and in many stores, if you're not shorter than me, or more well endowed than me, very few clothes fit, and so I don't enjoy it. However, I have learned in the last year and a half that shopping online for clothes is even worse. Even worse. That's why I wear nothing but jeans and t-shirts, because it's awful. And the inconsistency of sizing across clothing companies. And get me started. I'm going to add more asterisks to my chat if I get started. Let me just say, I have opinions. It should not be that hard for women to dress themselves with clothes that fit. Should not be that hard for us to find clothes that fit, is what I should say. I think I'm gonna have to close that window. I think it's worse. That humidity is making it worse. One moment. Ooh, although there's a really nice breeze right there. Okay. I'll just try that. See if I can get the breeze right on my face. I don't think that there's been a problem with the lighting thus far. I think there is a bit of a problem. Let me just check with my face, but that's fine because it's just a tiny screen. Oh no, it's not bad. It's not bad. There. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Ooh. No, I didn't want to highlight everything. I just want to stop it. Oh, I did something wrong. That's what happens when I touch things. Stop touching things. Don't touch the things. So now the captions don't, like there's a whole bit of the screen that isn't showing the entire caption. Let me play. Let me play. How's it showing now? Is that better? Well. No, there's an entire row that's not even showing up. Stop touching. No more touching. Putting that back. Just knit, Shakti. Just knit. You can probably hear the conversation from neighbors too. Okay. Just let me know if it's a problem. Okay, so we are about to start a new row. What row are we on? We are on row 3. So we're going to knit 2, purl 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, purl 1. Yarn over, purl 1. Oh, it's always on the row 3s. Have you noticed that? Always. I don't know why that is. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to remember. Yarn over, purl. I'm getting out of the screen again. Okay. Because I moved. I should not move. I just find my space, stay there, don't move. All right. Knit 2 together, yarn over. This is probably why I shouldn't do the second sock on stream, because you'll have to hear me repeat that pattern over and over again for a second sock. We don't have time for that. We just, no, let's not. I'll just find a better pattern or a different pattern, something different you can listen to me ramble on about. I might do a cuff down for that one. Cuff down, not cough. Cuff. It said cough again. Captioning, that's what happens with automatic captioning, right? But being as this is live, that is my options at this time. I don't have a stenographer with me to be able to quickly type what it is that I am saying. I suppose I could learn to speak clearer, but not today. I'm going to get all knotted again. That is the problem with working off of a bobbin, because I can't just pull out as I need. I'm pulling out a bunch in advance, and it's causing knots. We'll work through it. We might not get the whole bobbin done today. I don't know. We'll do what we can. Just about done row 3 here, so we'll be able to move on to row 4, which will be another pattern repeat done, which is great. I think I like this Sunday evening timing better than the afternoon. I know last week I was saying that this week would likely be an afternoon stream, but I just wasn't feeling an afternoon stream today. And I'm liking the evening timing better. So I think I'm just going to continue on with that. I'll update my schedule on my Twitch page to reflect that. That breeze isn't frequent enough. I still can't get over. I did the entire, I'm gonna harp on that. No mic, eh? Can't believe I did that. See, the problem is because I have so many cables and things all over my desk, I don't have, I'm getting a knot again. I unplug things that I'm not using right away, and so I just neglected to plug it back in. I had some really good rants going too. You folks missed out. It was going really well with my ranting. It might not have been a good thing. I don't know. But at least the captioner caught it, so you can always go back to the video and read what I said anyway. I don't feel like I got the yarn over here on this one. I think I may have just messed up what row I'm on, because there is no yarn over here. What round did I just do? The yarn over needs to be there. So you know how I said I had to repeat row 3 loudly to myself? It's exactly because of this, because I missed the yarn over. I did it again. I'll just add that little bit of lace in there. It's not going to be perfect, but yeah. That's why I don't take shortcuts. This is why I have to pay attention to what I'm working on. Okay. Do I at least have all the yarn overs here? I have yarn over there, yarn over there, yarn over there. Yarn over, yarn over. Okay, I'm okay with the rest of this row, at the very least. I've got a giant knot sitting here. I can't even see where it is though, like where the actual knot is. So I'm just going to keep knitting until I get to it. And hopefully it untangles itself. It's that darn bobbin. Who knew that a poorly knit sock that I pulled out would come back to haunt me this far into another sock? Because I didn't even get to the heel of the first sock. That's how bad it was. That's how many stitches I had on my needles. That's how much yarn I went through. But like I said, once it started looking like a hat, I knew that I had to pull it out. That is a purl stitch, not a knit stitch. Okay. One thing this layout is doing is making sure that my back is sore. Need to start doing yoga during my breaks or something. Okay. Oh, there's a nice breeze. Now that the sun's going down, it's starting to cool off a bit. It's still not the best view, eh? Because I still am out of camera. Let's see. I may have to just move the camera again. How's that? No, I'm right back where I started, aren't I? We're just going to not touch it for the rest of the stream. I think that I've successfully today messed up more than enough things. I don't need to be adding to that pile. All right, that was round 4. That was a pattern repeat done. Okay. $18 out of 30. So I was starting to talk about, I talked a bit about Dungeons and Dragons and how I like, I'm a fan. I also play Magic the Gathering. And if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, you know that they're both owned by Wizards of the Coast at this time. So being that they're the same company, they are able to I suppose, collaborate with themselves and do some crossover between the two games. So next month, there is actually a Dungeons and Dragons, specifically Forgotten Realms set coming out for Magic the Gathering, which I am very stoked with. A lot of the cards that are being released for play are exactly my play style, exactly what I love about the game, and I am very excited. So yesterday we made it down to a game store, a local game shop, and was able to pre-order some packs for myself to see how lucky I am to get the cards that I need, because it's all gambling. I understand that, but I'm not playing professionally. I'm not, oh, what did I do, folks? I think I need to pull back. I think I just did an extra 4th round row when I should have been doing a 1st round row. That's what happens when I talk, not pay attention. Yeah, I should have yarn overs here. Okay, pulling back. All right, yes. So we pre-purchased some packs. And we only just play here in the house and with friends. I don't go to the game stores to play or anything like that. So I can proxy the cards that I need. It's not like I'm trying to win tournaments or anything with them. So proxies are just fine for my game group. But it would be great to actually own some of these cards because they look fantastic. So if you're a fan of Forgotten Realms, fan of Drizzt, and all of those stories, R.A. Salvatore stories, and you play Magic the Gathering, definitely a set to be excited about. There's some really cool looking cards there. All right. This is row 1. Let me just make sure I ended the last row properly. Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay. So I have knit 2, purl 1. I need to yarn over, knit 2 together, purl 1. Repeat. And actually pay attention. See, that's what happened. I got excited about Magic. Got excited about Forgotten Realms. And I stopped paying attention. Okay. There, I have proper yarn overs on this row. Crisis averted. So it actually works out. I'm just looking at my notes here. It actually works out if we do 30 pattern repeats throughout the entire sock, that the second half of the sock, the 15 repeats, are fully on the leg. And the first 15 are fully on the foot. I'd love to tell you that I planned it that way, but I did not. But just in glancing at my notes, I'm just realizing that that's what's going to happen here. Because we have 3 repeats, 3 pattern repeats on the back of this leg so far. I don't know if you can see it. You can't really see it. No. 3 pattern repeats on the back of this leg so far. You can see the 3 holes there. And we're at 18 pattern repeats altogether, so that's pretty great. That is very cool how that worked out, just by chance. Just because I just decided at this arbitrary number. It was a good arbitrary number. Maybe in like my head, I just figured that was the best way to go. Maybe. That yarn, that knot that was just threatening, I just fixed that too. It's all coming up Millhouse right now. I'm not really a Simpsons fan, but I love that line. I've been using it a lot with my my eldest. He's had a lot of really great news over the last few weeks, so I've been teasing him and telling him we need to change his name to Millhouse. Because it's all just coming together for him, which is great. Obviously, that's what we want for our kids, right? Pulling some more off our bobbin. I still have so much yarn on this bobbin. Oh, we might not get through it today. I don't know. I want to. I desperately want to be done with that bobbin, so I could actually pull yarn from the yarn bowl. So I'm still on round 1 here. I did do a yarn over there, okay. I tell ya. It's like there's a point in my stream that I just stop thinking. Everything just shuts down. Have you noticed that? That I get to do this just a couple hours in and then everything just goes... And you didn't even get a quality first half hour from me today. You just haven't gotten quality from me today at all. All right, we're starting the next row. Oh, I need to stretch. I'm sorry. Okay. On to round 2. Well, we'll do another half hour or so, and then I think I'm going to call it a night here because my back cannot take too much more. I'm going to have to start incorporating some yoga stretches or something into the stream. You all can join me. Laugh at my form. I don't generally do yoga. I only do a few stretches at the end of various workouts, whatever the video tells me to do. Because of course we can't go to gyms, right? Not yet. I'm not really a gym person anyway. I don't prefer going to a gym. I like having access to the equipment and whatnot, but I always feel like people are watching me. I get self-conscious. She said on a stream where I'm performing for people. We'll have focus happening right now. There we are. It is a lovely night out though, even if it is humid. It's gonna start pulling out the sundresses. Maybe I won't do another 30 minutes. My back is really sore. This is not ideal. Let's see. If I lean back just a little bit, you get a little bit more leg. did I say I'm on? I'm on row 2, right? So how about this? I will continue to round 4 and then I'll call it a night. I may have to go back to my previous setup because I did not think that my back would hurt as much as it does right now. Kids, don't get old. I do not recommend. Although the lighting is really good right now. I don't know. I'll try to make it a priority to go fix my camera settings so that I can sit back in a proper chair to knit. All right, round 3. This is the round that I need to repeat out loud to myself so that I don't miss yarn overs. Knit 2. Okay. It looks like I might be back. My entire internet dropped. Hopefully, I'm back. It says I'm back. I have internet. My ping is good. It happens sometimes. Okay. So I don't know how much you missed, but we're still knitting a sock. Not much has changed. I'm still on row 3. I'm still calling out my pattern so that I don't miss out any yarn overs. I'm going to knit 2 together, yarn over purl. Knit 1, knit 2, purl. Knit 2 together, yarn over purl. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're still okay. Internet has been sketchy these last little while. It's been good all weekend though. So I don't know, that was just a glitch in the matrix, I guess. Okay. Purl. Knit 2 together. Yarn over purl. Two. Purl. Knit 2 together. Purl. The good news is that you only have to listen to me repeat that line 12 more times. Knit 2 together, yarn over, purl. That seems eminently doable, right? 12 more times for this row. This being the 12th time, actually, because math is obviously where I excel. Last repeat, we have knit, knit, purl, knit 2 together without picking up the stitch underneath it, knit 2 together, yarn over, purl. All right, that was round 3. Let's do round 4 and finish this pattern repeat. My computer's telling me it's only 23 Celsius right now. I think that is a lie. I don't think that's accurate in the least. I don't think it's counting in any kind of humidity. You would think that would be part of telling the temperature, right? What does it actually feel like outside? That's the temperature I'm interested in. I'm out of camera again. That saves my back though. So yeah, I think that for the next stream, I'm gonna go back to the lounge chair and I'll just work on my camera placement. Although my computer is much more accessible here. There are pros and cons to both. Better lighting this way, but a sore back. More computer accessibility, but a sore back. Better view on the craft cam. You know where I'm going with this one. But a sore back. I don't like hurting. Okay. Just keep knitting, just keep knitting. I may do another set, another round, and that'll end us off on 20 row repeats, which I think is a good place to stop. And that'll be about the half-hour mark, so that should work out fine. Yeah. If I support my back, you can't see the knitting. If I move in closer, ooh, and bang my chair against the desk. This is the last little bit of round 4. We're on the 4th needle of round 4. There we go. And it's coming along nicely. Just closed my pen. And that is round Excuse me, that is repeat 19 complete out of 30. It's pretty exciting. All right, let's try and get one more lace repeat done today. And then I will for sure stop it there. So this is round 1, where we are purling, then yarn over, then knit 2 together, then purl. It's probably best if you're going to knit this to work off the pattern itself and not from what I say. The pattern is far more understandable than I am. Alrighty. Knitting 2 together and purling. First needle done on round 1, and I need more yarn. We're definitely not finishing this bobbin today. Still so much yarn on there. Okay. I need to do a yarn over there. I almost messed up again. See, you never ever stop in the middle of a row. And that's why. Because you're going to forget where you are. Not every time. Maybe not often. Often enough for me. But enough. If there's an error that's going to happen, that's how it's going to happen. For me, almost every time it's because I stopped and stopped paying attention, got distracted. One, 2, 3, yarn over, knit 2 together, purl. There's a bit of heft happening to this sock now too. I'm starting to feel it way down on the needles, which is also exciting. I love having a finished product. Oh, I don't need to knit those 2 together. I just need to knit them. Let's just create a brand new hole here for no apparent reason. I'm sure that's fine. Okay. We're on the last needle of this round, round 1. And again, I don't know what it is about knitting 2 together, but I am constantly picking up the stitch underneath, which of course doesn't work. Okay, round 1 done. We're on to round 2. Easy, quick round if I don't drop my needles. Anyone a Haywire fan? Drop the needle. If you're a Haywire fan, you'll get that one. The song's probably running through your head right now. I know it is on mine. Dance Desire. Which should tell you a bit about my age. Which you already know if you were reading the captioning when my mic was off. But you missed your chance since my mic was off if you didn't read the captioning. Ha ha ha. It's better on my back when I sit up straight, so I'm going to try and sit up straight for the last few rows. It's very awkward to knit this way, but better than slouching, I suppose. Oops, 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 oops. How about we don't add an extra yarn over there? Now I know I've already made errors on this and I've hidden those errors, because if you've been following along, you know where they are, but I'm willing to bet there are other errors hidden in here that I don't know about. Okay, last needle of round 2. My internet's going all sketchy again. So if it drops again, I'm just going to end the stream and not bother to finish it off. We know where we're at, and I'll just pick it up next week on Sunday. I think I am going to stick with this time slot. I'm liking this time slot. So it'll be around 7 o'clock Eastern next week, and I will update my calendar on Twitch. And I think I'm going to start a pinned post on Twitter as well, so that you can easily find both the link and my timings. Alright, so that was round 2. Now we're on round 3. This is the tricky round. 1, 2, purl. We're going to knit 2 together and yarn over and purl. Knit 1, knit 2, purl, knit 2 together, yarn over and purl. Knit 1, knit 2, purl, knit 2 together, yarn over and purl. 1 needle done. Knit 1, knit 2, purl, knit 2 together, yarn over and purl. Knit 1, knit 2, purl, knit 2 together, running out of yarn, yarn over and purl. I need to pull more yarn. Oh, I know I'm stopping in the middle of round, but I need yarn to continue. Well, that's empty. Definitely time to stop the stream then. I'm all out of cider. Okay. Next half of this round. Here we go. 1, purl, 2 together, yarn over and purl. 1, 2, purl, knit 2 together. I got the bottom underneath again. It's got to be how I'm picking up those stitches. I don't know what it is. 1, 2, purl, knit 2 together, yarn over and purl. Itchy arm, I got an itchy arm. Okay. We're okay. All right. Knit 1, knit 2, purl 1, knitting 2 together. I wonder if there's a way to mount the camera on my chair. Maybe. 2, purl 1. I really need to experiment with the best place for the camera. Knit 2 together, yarn over and purl, and folks, that was round 3. On to round 4, our final round for today. Where no thought is required, we just knit and purl as they lay. There's a strange noise happening outside that sounds an awful lot like a duck, but I suspect it's actually a child. I really want to look because I am like Curious George. I have to see. Trying not to. I don't know if you can hear the duck noises. Probably not. One thing I've noticed about this mic is it tends to only pick up exactly what is directly in front of it, which is why it has to be in my face all the time. Yeah, I think our measurement is going to be exactly right. Insofar as how many repeats, I mean. It's going to be just the right length on the leg for my liking. And I suspect that we'll have a lot of yarn left over after the pair is done. Because if I've only been working off the bobbin at this point, which was only maybe a quarter of the entire skein of yarn, we're gonna have a lot of yarn left. Which is fine, I'll use it in my scrap blanket. That might be a good project to do when I'm on a particularly ranty day and I don't want to pay attention to what I'm working on. Last needle. And this will be the end of round 20 of our lace pattern, which means only 10 more rounds to go. We may be able to do that next week. I don't know. We've only done 5 rounds today, so that is it right there. So we've done from about there, this portion today. And we have have 2 more of these to go. So maybe 2 more streams. If I do a slightly longer stream to include the cuff. We'll see how it goes. I may go for a 3-hour stream next week. And then another 3-hour stream, and we should be able to finish it up. But for now, I've got 20 lace repeats. Let's see here. Let's see here. So that you can actually see. 20 lace repeats all the way along here. That's 20. We're going to need 3 more of this section. We've just finished on round 4 of the lace pattern, so next week we'll start again with round 1 of the lace pattern and just knit lace all the way around for 10 rounds, 10 repeats. Sound good? It's good to have a plan, but it's coming along nicely. And I think I will knit the second sock off string. But I need to finish this one first because the yarn is attached. So I need to be able to finish that first. All right. So thanks for being with me today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the interaction and the chatter. Love to see it. I will be back on for sure Wednesday. I may be back earlier than that to do a gaming stream and do some Saga, Banner Saga, Monday or Tuesday, but we'll see. I can't promise anything. I'll tweet it out if I do, so make sure you follow me on Twitter. I am at Shakti. You can check my socials by !socials, and it's also linked in the Twitter page, so if you need to find me. But that's how I post when I'm streaming and that sort of thing. Alrighty, thanks for joining me today. I'll see you all for sure Wednesday, maybe sooner. Bye.